Once again, live from my apartment. For the third year running, I present to you the Under the Scope Anime Awards, Best and Worst of 2017. It was a whale of a year for me and the world, so rather than regale you of all that blunt force trauma, let's focus on what actually went right. Anime. But before we get started, allow me to dedicate this show to the loving memory of the 2016 UTS Anime Awards, stolen from us before its time, like so many bright young videos here on YouTube. Good night, sweet prince. If this is your first run-in with these awards, allow me to explain how this works. As long as a show aired in 2017 and I saw at least some of it, it's eligible. I have over 50 awards to hand out across more than 45 nominated works. But what are they fighting for? 2 years ago, dozens of anime earned the prized Golden Saber. In 2016, we honored the best with the even more coveted Platinum Saber. This year, we've outdone ourselves again. Ladies, gentlemen, and others, I present to you the Crystal Saber. Yes, we here at Under the Scope Productions are quite the imaginative folk. An entire childhood playing Pokemon Gen 2 has finally paid off. The awards will be dispersed between 5 categories: music, production, characters, miscellaneous, and genres. Between each category, I'll select my anime of the seasons, with these 4 shows moving on to the evening's main event, the Anime of the Year Award. 2017 will go down as a year of extraordinary sequels, with continuations to some of recent years' most popular series, as well as a few of my personal favorites. As such, if I want to paint an accurate reflection of the year that was, I can't possibly exclude sequels from these awards. That being said, I'll try to keep repeat winners to a minimum outside of the Anime of the Year running. Please note, you will not agree with many of my picks. Your favorite anime will not get enough attention, and you will feel I should have watched X instead of Y. With that established, let's get right to it, shall we? Our first category takes us to the realm of music, and what a year it was. This is always the hardest section for me to parse through, with countless OPs, EDs, and OSTs to keep track of, but 2017 offered the most of my favorite pieces in my 3 years of doing this. We have to start somewhere, so what better way to open than with the best opening? From drab to dab, brace yourselves, because once a few of these get in your head, they may not want to leave. Here are the nominees for Best Opening. Aozora no Rhapsody by Fana, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Imawa no Shinigami by Megumi Hayashibata, Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju Season 2. Shadow and Truth by 1-3 Notes, Aka. Peace Sign by Kenshi Yonezu, My Hero Academia 2. Trip 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 by Ore-sama, Magical Circle Guru Guru. The Other Side of the Wall by Void Chords Feet Manu, Princess Principal. Deal with the Devil by Tia, Kakegurui. Ugoku Ugoku by Inori Minasai and Yorika Kubo, Girls Last Tour. Kaidoku Funo by After the Rain, Adam the Beginning. And the winner is Imawa no Shinigami by Megumi Hayashibata, Rakugo. This opening is proof visuals don't have to dazzle to be engaging. One of my favorite voices in the industry, Megumi Hayashibata's melancholic, entrancing sound is perfect for Rakugo's often somber tone. The sequence takes us into the mind of Yakumo, how the weight of tragedy haunts him like a specter. At times, it changes certain shots to foreshadow events later in the episode. I love subtle nuances like that. My Anime of the Year selection from 2016, Rakugo is no stranger to these awards, so expect plenty more of it as we continue on. From openings to endings, there's something to be said about a memorable ED. The perfect bookend to a great episode, this year's crop offered one of my favorite songs of 2017, in addition to several more achingly catchy entries. Thank you, Maid Dragon and Girls Last Tour. With that, the nominees for Best Ending are Wanna Go Home by Soda Amamiya, Rie Takahashi, and Ai Kaino, Konosuba 2. More One Night by Inori Minase and Yorika Kubo, Girls Last Tour. Tome no Tsubasa by Yuiko Ohara, Little Witch Academia Ending 2. Magical Circle by Techno Boys Polcraft Green Fund feat. Shoko Nakagawa, Magical Circle Guru Guru Ending 2. Date Atashi no Hiro by Lisa, My Hero Academia Ending 2. The Pale Moon is Shaking by Aida Yuki Aka. Moon River by Fauna, The Eccentric Family 2. Ishukan Communication by Choro Gonzu, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. And the award goes to The Pale Moon is Shaking by Aida Yuki Aka. The stirring melody of Aida Yuki's vocals, coupled with the elegant ballet sequence entirely animated by Izumi Murakami, makes this sequence simply enchanting. I'm not sure which impresses me more, but together they create a breathless effect. I love the designs in My Hero Academia's second ending, plus Lisa's always great, but nothing grabbed me like Aka's ED. Another easy winner. Where OPs and EDs are a treat every episode, insert songs pop up only sparingly, but often create the most memorable scenes. These are usually some of the hardest for me to track down if I haven't seen the whole show, but 5 left a lasting impact. Here are the nominees for Best Insert Song. Scarborough Fair by Tamaru Yamada, Suka Suka. Sangatsu Kokonoka by Nao Toyama, Tsuki ga Kirei. Hanesebe Karadinya by Kevin Penkin feat. Takashi Saito, Made in Abyss. Layers by Amy Blacksley, 3 creators. Song of Raindrops by Inori Minase and Yuriko Kubo, Girls Last Tour. And the winner is Hanesebe Karadinya by Kevin Penkin feat. Takashi Saito, Made in Abyss. Kevin Penkin's Made in Abyss soundtrack is a tour de force, and this song never failed to give me goosebumps. A perfect fit for the show's breathtaking world, Hanesebe Karadinya is probably my favorite piece of music from any anime this year. Similar to the difficulty with insert songs, there's no way I could listen to every individual track from every OST this year, so you'll have to accept this handful that stuck out most. Some of these selections may blur the line between standard track and insert song. Nevertheless, here are the nominees for Best Single Track. Uwari no Uta by Kenichiro Suehiro, Girls Last Tour. Smoke and Mirrors by Ryo Takahashi, Aka. My Story by Oshima Michiru, Little Witch Academia. Cinnabar by Yoshiaki Fujisawa, Land of the Lustrous. Main theme by Junichi Matsumoto, The Ancient Magus Bride. And the Crystal Saber goes to Owari no Uta by Kenichiro Suehiro, Girls Last Tour. The only series to ever earn a nomination from me in all 5 categories for music, Kenichiro Suehiro's soundtrack plays a significant hand in crafting the wistful, eerie vibe of Girls Last Tour's engrossing world. This melancholic track feels like the series boiled down to a single piece of music, inducing such a visceral response in me each time I hear it. Certainly enough to make it my most memorable track of the year. Finally, we reach the last and biggest award in the music category, Best Original Soundtrack. This was easily the best year for OST since I started following seasonal anime in my view, with several soundtracks placing among my favorites beyond just 2017. Still, only one can take the title of Best Original Soundtrack, so with that, here are the nominees. Princess Principal by Yuki Kajira. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid by Masami Ito. Little Witch Academia by Oshima Michiru. Maiden Abyss by Kevin Penkin. Girls Last Tour by Kenichiro Suehiro. And the winner is Maiden Abyss by Kevin Penkin. As much as I love these other works, ultimately Maiden Abyss was a rather clear selection here. I don't think the series would have been nearly as popular without this instant classic soundtrack. The sound blends exceptionally well with Abyss's visuals, a perfect complement to this grand world. It's rare to see someone from outside Japan play such a prominent role in anime production, but if the Australian Penkin's work on Maiden Abyss is any indication, hopefully we'll see a lot more of him in years to come. Our first stop on the seasonal tour takes us back to winter. Interestingly, the winter season has produced my Anime of the Year selection in each of the first 2 awards shows, and while I'd change one of those if I had to do it over again, this winter could continue the trend, producing a number of contenders for the top crown, including the sequel to my 2016 pick and several surprise hits. A strong start to 2017, here are the nominees for Anime of the Winter season. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Kyoto Animation. Showa Roku Rakugo Shinju Season 2, Studio Dean. Konosuba 2, Studio Dean. Aka, Madhouse. Little Witch Academia, Trigger. The Crystal Saber and nomination for Anime of the Year goes to Showa Roku Rakugo Shinju. I warned you Rakugo would have a heavy presence in these proceedings, and I meant it. As stellar as Rakugo's first season was, this continuation arguably took it a level further. Tormented by the guilt of his past, Yakumo's struggle to come to terms with Rakugo's shifting place in society makes for must-see drama. What do you feel for the art that's brought you so much pain? Pass the baton to the next generation, or let it die? Meanwhile, Yotaro fights to restore his master's faith in their craft while finding his own voice to carry it through. Rakugo Shinju is more than one of the best series these last 2 years. It's a defining anime of the decade. Moving on to our next section, now we take a look at the creation of anime, recognizing the industry's best and brightest in the category of production. First up, the award for Best Animation. The nominees are Little Witch Academia, Trigger. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Kyoto Animation. Land of the Lustrous, Orange. Maiden Abyss, Kinema Citrus. And the winner is Little Witch Academia. There really isn't a wrong choice among these 4, but I went with LWA for showcasing the strong expressivity and good-natured fun of animation. It's not as consistent as some of the other choices here, and certainly not as refined as its OVA counterparts. Given the schedule demands of a 2-core TV series, comparing it back to the 2013 OVA was always going to be terribly unfair. Still, LWA shines for the unique combination of styles and creative minds scattered across its run. With imaginative storyboarding and a cartoony flair, Little Witch Academia is a visual blast, and for a show about the power of fun, that's the best you can ask for. Where these 4 productions stayed noteworthy throughout their run, this next winner stands out for one particular entry. The award for Best Episode goes to Fate Apocrypha number 22. After hearing the rave reviews of this episode's production, I went back to the series I'd previously dropped to see what the fuss was about, and wow is it deserved. Helmed by Hakuyu Go, the staff of this episode is essentially the anime industry's edition of the NBA Rising Stars game, with an almost absurd collection of young talent coming together for the project. Mostly digital animation, it favors fluidity and range of motion over sticking to rigid models. If the rest of Fate Apocrypha looked like this, it might have been among my favorites. Alas, we'll have to settle for a taste of mastery. Next, in what proved to be one of the more difficult decisions of these awards, the title of Best Background Art goes to the Eccentric Family 2. As much as I love the beautiful landscapes of Maiden Abyss, Land of the Lustrous, and Maiddragon among others, the detail in Eccentric Family's backgrounds is unrivaled. The teams at Bamboo and Studio Lagrasse truly crafted a work of art here. No production is complete without its leader, of course. In the category of Best Director, the nominees are Tatsuki, Kimono Friends, Hiroshi Ikehata, Akiba's Trip and Magical Circle Guru Guru, Shinichi Yamada, Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju Season 2, Seiji Kishi, Tsuki ga Kirei. And the winner is Hiroshi Ikehata, one of the most influential episode directors in the industry with work ranging from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood to Flip Flappers. Ikehata takes my crown of Best Director for his work on not one, but 2 of the year's most visually fun works. Akiba's Trip may not be among my favorites, but it no doubt showcases Ikehata's penchant for wild animation. His work on Guru Guru is perhaps even more impressive, especially considering he wasn't supposed to be involved to begin with. After original director Hisaaki Okui was fired months before the show's broadcast, Ikehata took over the project as series director. You couldn't ask for a better replacement. His loose style and willingness to play with ideas makes Ikehata a perfect fit for wacky comedies like Guru Guru, and places him among the most creative storyboarders and directors in the industry. On to the role you might recognize Ikehata from most, the award for Best Episode Director goes to Kenji Muto for his unbelievable work on Land of the Lustrous. A relative unknown, Muto directed episodes 3, 6, and 10, storyboarding all 3 as well as episode 7. The layouts, the framing, the camera work, what's there to say? It's utterly astonishing. Any of these could have taken the title for Best Episode. Bort's fight with the Lunarian in number 10 has some of the most ingenious camera work I've ever seen in an anime action sequence. Here's hoping this is only the beginning for Kenji Muto. I can't wait to see what he does next. I always look for great character animation in a production, and this year boasted plenty to satiate that desire, most notably Koichi Kikuda's formless, zany designs for Konosuba. But I'll take the anime original Just Because as my pick for Best Character Animation. Just Because was no doubt an interesting production. It certainly saw its share of headaches, resulting from a hellish schedule and perhaps an overly ambitious vision. All in all, that's how you get this wonky, almost jarringly unpolished look. Nevertheless, the passion for crafting these small character moments is there. Few anime commit to painting their characters in such lifelike manner. Perhaps the production issues indicate why, as that attention to detail is simply not feasible in most cases. But Just Because illustrates the depth of character you can achieve with these subtle, lived moments, even if it doesn't always succeed. Next, the award for Best Designs goes to Ko Yoshinari and Kazuchika Kisei for Maiden Abyss. Kisei, who handled the character designs, utilized the blobs to horrifying effect. Normally, I love blobby character models for their fun range of motion, like in Girls Last Tour. At first, Maiden Abyss seemed to fall right in line with that, but then things took a nightmarish turn. Yoshinari's monster designs, meanwhile, provide a sharp contrast to their surroundings. That lack of blending makes them all the more unsettling in my view. Together, the juxtaposition between these cute models and fearsome creatures lends the series' sense of dread, one of its most lasting impressions. From animation designs to direction, Yoshihiko Umakoshi of My Hero Academia takes the Crystal Saber for Best Animation Director. Umakoshi is one of my favorite creators in the industry, thanks in no small part to Doremi, so you better believe I was not going to pass up the opportunity to recognize his great work on Hero Aka. Serving as character designer and chief animation director, Umakoshi once again proves why he's at the very top of his craft. In particular, his work on episode 10 of season 2 is among the best you'll see all year, with his trademark line work and expertly detailed character art coming together beautifully in the tournament arc's explosive climax. While Yoshihiko Umakoshi is one of the household names in the industry, this next award goes to the name you might not recognize yet, but could be seeing a lot more in years to come. The winner of the Brightest Young Talent Award goes to animator Nakaya Onsen. Onsen first burst onto the scene for his cuts on Animanga Sensei in the spring, particularly the dance in the opening and the cooking scene. Later, he played a huge role in Fate Apocrypha number 22. I've already gushed enough on that front, but needless to say, Onsen provided some of its most striking sequences. Our final production award comes as an easy selection. Best 3D animation goes to Land of the Lustrous, perhaps the strongest showcase of CG's power I've seen from a TV anime. What strikes me most is how expressive its characters are, critical for a work as intimately tied to its cast's mental struggles as their physical. The staff at Studio Orange poured astonishing detail into the character models, Diamond's in particular. The production is a master course in how to blend animation processes, as the 2D backbone is apparent but meshes seamlessly into 3D. With the dynamic camera work in its action sequences, breathtaking scenery, and evocative layouts and perspective shots, Land of the Lustrous could be my favorite overall production of the year, in addition to one of my favorite series. With April showers came more sequel powers, as the spring season saw continuations to mega hits My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan, as well as Rage of Bahamut and a personal favorite, The Eccentric Family. I had high hopes the staff at PA Works could recapture the first season's magic, but that wasn't the only series to come out of the studio in spring. Sakura Quest also marked its debut, one of the season's 3 notable anime originals, alongside Seiji Kishi's Tsuki ga Kirei and Ei Aoki's Recreators. Oh, and some Mimoto anime you probably never heard of aired too. Here are the nominees for Anime of the Spring Season. My Hero Academia Season 2, Bones. Sakura Quest, PA Works. The Eccentric Family 2, PA Works. Tsuki ga Kirei, Studio Feel. Recreators, Troika. And the winner moving on to the Anime of the Year award is The Eccentric Family 2, PA Works. I'll be honest, the second season came as a total shock to me when it was announced. Eccentric Family didn't seem like the type of show to beget a sequel, especially not 4 years after the original wrapped the story up nicely. Despite that, everything I loved about the first season returned, from the sharp writing to the pure whimsy. I always marvel at how well constructed the Eccentric Family is. The dialogue has an unmistakable flavor to it. The colorful world brims with life. Every part works in tandem to create spectacles that instill this feeling of wonder in me. These moments are what make the Eccentric Family special, and one of the lasting series of 2017. Continuing on, next we move to the category of characters. Instead of arbitrarily dividing the main and side character awards by gender, I combined them into 2 massive selections. With that, take a deep breath and listen for the nominees to Best Main Character. Foss, Land of the Lustrous. Yotaro, Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju Season 2. Chisei Hattori, The Ancient Magus Bride. Bei Kiriyama, March Comes In Like a Lion 2. Kukuri, Magical Circle Guru Guru. Kobayashi, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Morioka Moriko, Recovery of an MMO Junkie. Yoshino Koharu, Sakura Quest. And the winner is Morioka Moriko, Recovery of an MMO Junkie. I feel people tend to lean towards more dramatic roles for awards like this, but Moriko proves you don't have to hail from some exhaustive character study to be a great character. Rarely do you see a 30-year-old unemployed woman with social anxieties starring in an anime. This show doesn't punish or belittle her for it, though. Rather, Moriko legitimately connects with people through her online persona, which ultimately allows her to find those connections in real life. Wholesome, dorky, and fun, Moriko's the rare rom-com protagonist to not be an obnoxious twit. As self-anointed president of the Tomoyo Kurosawa fan club, you know how tempted I was to go with Foss here. But I stuck with Moriko because of all the characters from the past year, she's the one I connected to most. Moving down the ladder, here are the nominees for Best Side Character. Diamond, Land of the Lustrous. Shoto Todoroki, My Hero Academia Season 2. Hinata Kawamoto, March Comes in Like a Lion Season 2. Ben 10, The Eccentric Family 2. Diana Cavendish, Little Witch Academia. Hifumi, New Game. Satania, Gabriel Dropout. And who could forget Old Man North North, Magical Circle Guru Guru. There's several terrific choices here, but the Crystal Saber goes to Hinata Kawamoto, March Comes in Like a Lion Season 2. March Comes in Like a Lion is such a rich character drama, but Hina's arc in Season 2 pushed it to another level. Her painfully real struggle with bullying raises the question, would you do the right thing if you knew it would only shift pain onto yourself? I think that's a test of a truly good person. For Hina, it's yes with hardly a second thought. Steadfast in her decision to stick up for her friend, she's the person Ray needed when he was a kid, ostracized from his classmates. The two take comfort in each other, finding that place of belonging, of welcome. You can't help but admire such a strong-willed, kind-hearted character like Hina. These relationships and people make March Comes in Like a Lion one of the best dramas to come out of anime in recent years. Enough with the heroes. Every story needs a villain, so let's shine a light on the bad guys. Here are the nominees for 2017's Best Villain. Hiro Shishigami, Inuyashiki. Hero Killer Stain, My Hero Academia Season 2. Altair, Recreators. Kadokawa, Kimono Friends. And the winner is Hiro Shishigami, Inuyashiki. As villainous as the folks at Kadokawa were for bumping Tatsuki off his own creation for the Kimono Friends sequel, that's more of a worst villain winner. Hiro takes this award as an actual character in their series. For one, Hiro's collected demeanor thanks to Nijiro Murakami's subdued performance is harrowing enough, but his ruthlessness and total lack of empathy are purely horrifying. Though it tries at times, Inuyashiki doesn't have much to say about anything other than blood, murder, and the occasional, attempted pull at the heartstrings. Hiro's little more than a sociopath taking his boredom out on society. Inuyashiki is a weird but fun series, and Hiro's a major reason why. Completely switching gears, the award for Best Child Character goes to the good girl Kana Kobayashi from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. What do I need to say here? For starters, Kana is Best Anime Daughter and easily the most precious character of the year. But Maid Dragon also wouldn't be half of what it is without her. So much of the series' thematic core centers around Kana's relationships with the others. Even Toru and Kobayashi's developing relationship is often framed around taking care of her. She sees a mother in Kobayashi. Maid Dragon's family dynamic is a testament to the power of these relationships. It allows Kana to find her place. Oh, and did I mention she's adorable? Ironically, the dubious distinction of worst character of 2017 goes to one of my favorite series. Yes, I'm talking about Mineta from My Hero Academia. Not only a terribly unfunny one-joke horse, Mineta's shtick is simply gross. I'm sure if I dug through the dregs of the year, I'd find a more grating character, but Mineta's the worst for existing in a series I otherwise love. Please, if Mineta really wanted to be a hero, he'd disappear and save us from Hiroaka's most frustrating presence, himself. These next two awards are closely related, pun intended, but with an important distinction. First, in the category of Best Couple, the nominees are Moriko and Sakurai, Recovery of an MMO Junkie. Mizuno and Azumi, Tsuki ga Kiire. Mio and Eita, Just Because. Toru and Kobayashi, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Yotaro and Konatsu, Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju Season 2. And the winner is Mizuno and Azumi, Tsuki ga Kiire. Ah, adolescence, and all its awkward, dorky wonder. Yes, Mizuno and Azumi take this award primarily thanks to their bumbling attempts to figure out what feelings are and how to have them. With more ahs, and ges than a room full of kumikos, following these two through their clumsy middle school relationship is a sugary sweet delight. Next, the award for Best Relationship. Unlike Best Couple, these connections may or may not be romantic in nature, but form the core of their series' heart. The nominees for Best Relationship are Chi and Yu, Girls' Last Tour. Chisei and Elias, the Ancient Magus Bride. Ko and Aoba, new game. Diana and Akko, Little Witch Academia. And the Crystal Saber goes to Diana and Akko, Little Witch Academia. Sure, the rivals turned allies trope is well worn, but it works to such sweet effect here. Though they initially come off as polar opposites, with Akko representing Shirio's philosophy of the fun and magic and Diana reinforcing the more traditional perspective, the two are closer to one and the same. They're each who the other aspires to be. Akko is like a younger Diana, free from the pressure to conform to conventional ideas. Where her belief in magic's limitless beauty could blossom, Diana's situation forced her to lock that side away, until Akko brings it back out. Together, Diana and Akko embody LWA's maxim: a believing heart is your magic. Little Witch Academia may be a bit messy at times, but it bursts with an unending charm championed by the heroes at its essence. Not to mention, I absolutely ship it. Lastly, we come to the final award in the category for characters: Best Cast. If not for my commitment to avoid repeat winners where possible, Rakugo would probably earn this award for a second consecutive year. Instead, the Crystal Saber for Best Cast goes to Land of the Lustrous. As much as I loved Magical Circle Guru Guru's seemingly endless onslaught of eccentric side characters, no cast had a more powerful effect on me than the gems of Land of the Lustrous. At times fun and endearing, at others transfixing, all grapple with internal demons. Foss struggles to understand their identity and meaning in the world. Cinnabar suffers from the anxiety of constant isolation, a gap Foss attempts to bridge. Diamond feels useless paired with their stronger partner Bort, consistently pushing their limits to prove their value. Even characters we didn't interact with much left an impact, like Rutil's feelings of inadequacy at their inability to heal Padparadja. All in all, Land of the Lustrous is 2017's richest new character drama, with a captivating ensemble cast worthy of this award. Summer, the season that I forgot. Because I didn't follow any anime weekly save for continuing My Hero Academia, every summer show went straight to the backlog. Unfortunately, that means I didn't watch as many as I would have liked. Still, once I felt rejuvenated enough, I think I circled back for a pretty good idea of the best this season had to offer. With that, here are the nominees for Anime of the Summer Season. New Game, Doga Kobo. Maiden Abyss, Kinema Citrus. Magical Circle Guru Guru, Production IG. Princess Principal, Octus and Studio 3 Hertz. Welcome to the Ballroom, Production IG. And the winner, moving on to Anime of the Year, is Magical Circle Guru Guru. There's a fine line between comedy that makes you go, hey, that was pretty funny, and actually laugh. And breaking from my experience with a lot of comedy anime, Magical Circle Guru Guru definitively falls in the latter. Amazingly, it manages to adapt the complete story in half as many episodes as the prior two TV series without coming across as rushed, boiling the series down to its most essential, funniest parts. Its comedic timing never lets up, and the wry sense of humor is absolutely my thing. Beyond the silliness, it's a genuinely great high fantasy and downright brilliant parody of JRPG adventures. Cartoony, frenetic, and fun, Magical Circle Guru Guru gave me those warm feelings I need to unwind. Further proof, kids' shows are actually the best. Our next category makes for an odd collection of titles. These awards are only related in that they're unrelated to each other. Yes, it's the Miscellaneous section. Leading off, the award for Best Plot Twist goes to Showa-Genroku Rakugo Shinji for its ingenious revelation in Episode 7 of Season 2. This curveball frames the events of Season 1 in a character-redefining light, while lending the series a clear direction to move forward. Rather than spoil you here, I'll simply point to the entire video I made on this remarkable twist. Shameless plug. Moving on, for the second year in a row, My Hero Academia takes home the title of Best Fight, for the Deku vs. Todoroki clash. In what could be my favorite episode of any show this year, this fight arguably marks the high point of the series to date. The fight's central conflict comes from how the two limit their quirks. Deku because he can't handle the full force of his power, and Todoroki because he doesn't want to give in to his. Yutaka Nakamoto's finale marks the animation highlight in a sequence filled with them. You won't find a more exhilarating showdown than this. 2017 yielded a remarkable number of enthralling worlds, from Girls' Last Tour's eerie, post-apocalyptic city to Land of the Lustrous' expansive, empty country. However, the Crystal Saber for Best World goes to Maiden Abyss. From the minute we saw our first dive into the Abyss, I was hooked. The lore, the scenery, its inhabitants, the Abyss reinvigorated that overwhelming thirst for exploration I last felt when I was a kid. Couple that with the already decorated soundtrack and a few devastating emotional punches, and you have a recipe for one of the year's best series. There were a number of surprise hits this year, but none bigger than Kimono Friends. Anyone who saw this coming, take a bow. With a delightful cast and genuinely great world building, Kimono Friends was honestly one of the more enjoyable experiences I had with anime all year. It takes this award not only for its surprising quality though, but the cultural phenomenon it left in its wake. Japari Park Fever took Japan by storm, even allowing a forlorn Humboldt penguin to find love. May he rest in peace. Of course, the flip side to that is my biggest disappointment, the Kino's Journey reboot. Not that my expectations were too high to begin with, but anytime a sequel to a beloved work fails to recapture the same wonder you fell in love with, it's disappointing. Even when judged purely on its own merit, the show's vignettes largely fail to offer much intrigue. Thankfully, Kino's Journey 2017 will only serve as a footnote to this otherwise classic franchise. Disappointing, yes, but Kino's doesn't hold a candle to the worst the year had to offer. As is always the case, I had a lot of options, but here they are, the nominees for Worst Show of 2017. Handshakers, The King's Game, Netsuzo Trap, Dynamic Chord, and the unfortunate winner, Dynamic Chord. I really couldn't go wrong, right? But Dynamic Chord may be the most baffling production I've ever seen. I mean, look at it. The entire show, yes, all of it, was fully outsourced. The result is the jumbled mess you see here. Loop after loop of the same stills, a complete breakdown of the laws of physics, you never know how Dynamic Chord will be terrible next. As bad as that is, the Poltergeist Award for most likely to make you peel your face off goes to Handshakers. Those chains. Make it stop. Let's mercifully get back to the good. I could have chosen a number of incredible scenes for the Best Moment Award, including at least a dozen from Rakugo, but in the interest of variety, I'll go with Singin' in the Rain from Girls' Last Tour. Chi and Yu's attempts to parse through long-forgotten constructs of human culture and ideology makes Girls' Last Tour a surprising philosophical delight, but no moment captured what I love about it better than the ending to Episode 5. Forced to take shelter from a storm, the two feel the rhythm of the rain as it hits against the ground until it swells into this splendid song. They may not have any reason to trudge forward, life may be coming to an end, but it's still beautiful. That feeling is what I'll remember most from Girls' Last Tour, best exemplified in this scene here. The award for Best Fashion Sense goes to Sakura Quest for its cast's varied A+ costuming. Each character's style gives you a great sense of their personality, not to mention preventing the show from looking too samey. There's a chance I'm only saying this because Sanae is like staring directly into my wardrobe. Potential bias aside, props to Boon Boon and others for these great designs. For all its strengths, 2017 left a lot to be desired when it came to shorts, with only two standouts. With all due respect to Pingu, the winner of Best Short is Zure Zure Children. A fun series of short stories at a high school of hormonally charged teens, Zure Zure Children plays on rom-com tropes to goofy, charming effect. The 4-coma style works well in this format, and the 12-minute runtime makes this an easily bingeable series. In a year devoid of many great shorts, Zure Zure Children at least makes one gem. 2017 did not lack in terrific films, however. I had the privilege to see several in theaters, including 2016's most acclaimed productions, which means I can finally give out this next award a year overdue. Better late than never, I suppose. The Crystal Saber for Best Film of 2016 goes to A Silent Voice. Anyone familiar with this channel at all should know my feelings regarding Naoko Yamada. Who better to tell a story about the beauty of communication than a director dedicated to exploring how we experience it? In fact, I loved the film so much, I even showed it to my mom, who'd never watched anime and converted her to a self-proclaimed Yamada fan. If that's not a true test of greatness, I don't know what is. Honorable mention to In This Corner of the World, a beautiful, emotional tale of day-to-day life in wartime Japan. If you haven't seen either, I cannot stress enough how important these films are. Do yourself a favor and pick them up. Back to the past year, the best film of 2017 goes to Masaaki Yuasa's The Night is Short, Walk On Girl. I've yet to see a Yuasa work I didn't like, and considering the Tatami Galaxy is among my very favorites, I figured I'd love this film. Night is Short was the most fun I had with any anime this year. The story breaks down into complete and utter insanity within its first half hour and only grows wilder from there. A testament to the creativity and no-holds-barred fun of animation, The Night is Short, Walk On Girl is a visual delight. I can think of no better way to spend an evening than to kick back, have a drink, and let Yuasa's marvelous venture sweep you away. Our last seasonal stop brings us to my favorite of the year, fall. I set a personal record for most shows kept up with week to week, Perhaps that was pent-up motivation to get back to it after taking summer off, or a sign of how strong the slate of shows in fall was. Narrowing it down to 5 proved difficult, but the nominees for anime of the fall season are Girls Last Tour, White Fox. Recovery of an MMO Junkie, Signal MD. March Comes in Like a Lion 2, Shaft. Land of the Lustrous, Orange. Kekkai Sensen and Beyond, Bones. The winner and final nominee for Anime of the Year is Land of the Lustrous. You probably saw this coming given how much I raved about the visuals and characters in earlier sections. In crafting its mystifying world, Landlust offers such a distinct flavor. When your role in society is based entirely on your physical limits, how do you come to terms with your place? Where is your identity? That air of existential dread constantly looms over the characters' minds. After Foss attempts to alter their form, they lose a part of themselves. But is that part worth missing? It's an enthralling examination of identity and the bridge between the body and the self. Even if we never get a second season, fingers crossed we do, Land of the Lustrous is a crown jewel of 2017. At last, we reach the final category of this event, genres. Bear in mind, series are only permitted 1 entry. I did my best to select whatever made the most sense, but reserved total discretion to divide them in a way that gave awards to the shows I most wanted to recognize. Only slightly rigged. Here they are, the awards for Best in Genre. The nominees for Best Action are My Hero Academia 2, Attack on Titan 2, Recreators, Inuyashiki. And the winner is My Hero Academia. In the year's most loaded category, the nominees for Best Adventure Fantasy are Little Witch Academia, Maiden Abyss, Land of the Lustrous, The Ancient Magus Bride. And the Crystal Saber goes to Land of the Lustrous. Taking the overflow from the fantasy category, the nonsensical nominees for Best Supernatural are Kekkai Sensen and Beyond, The Eccentric Family 2, Fate Apocrypha, Interviews with Monster Girls. And the winner, The Eccentric Family 2. The nominees for Best Drama are Scum's Wish, Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju Season 2, March Comes in Like a Lion 2, Aka. And the winner is Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju. The Crystal Saber for Best Mystery goes to Princess Principal, just edging out Alice and Zudoku for this title. Kakegurui takes the award for Best Game Series. Now if only Netflix would release it. In the category of Best Romance, the nominees are Tsuki ga Kirei, Seiren, Zure Zure Children, Just Because. And the winner is Just Because. In the category of Best Sci-Fi, the winner is Suka Suka. Not a lot of options for this one, unfortunately. For Best Military, the award goes to Saga of Tanya the Evil, thanks to its insane lead. The nominees for Best Slice of Life are Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Sakura Quest, New Game, Recovery of an MMO Junkie. And the winner is Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. With Slice of Life already stuffed, Girls Last Tour wins the award for Best Philosophical, a fitting designation. Meanwhile, the Crystal Saber for Best Sports Anime goes to Welcome to the Ballroom. Lastly, in the category of Best Comedy, the nominees are Konosuba 2, Gabriel Dropout, Gamers, Magical Circle Guru Guru. And the winner is Magical Circle Guru Guru. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. We've handed out 52 awards tonight with only one left, 2017's top prize. Along the way, we eliminated all but the best each season had to offer, giving us our final 4. Here are the nominees for Anime of the Year 2017. From Winter, Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju Season 2. From Spring, The Eccentric Family 2. From Summer, Magical Circle Guru Guru. From Fall, Land of the Lustrous. And, as chosen by a committee of 1, I humbly present the Crystal Saber for Anime of the Year 2017 to Yes, for the second straight year, Rakugo takes my top prize for its brilliant character drama and layer upon layer of rich emotion. It's a story of living with tragedy, of seeing the world forge ahead while you're stuck back, of cherishing the light of life in darkness. Art can adapt to survive, but you can never forget what made it special to begin with. The Rakugo stories themselves are directed and told with such performative power, each thrusts you into their unique world. From Konatsu's Jugemusho to Yotaro performing Sukaroku's Rakugo, it's only fitting the series' strongest moments comes with its characters on stage. When the series takes an unexpected spiritual turn in the penultimate episode, I realized I'd follow these characters anywhere. I'd listen to whatever story they had to tell. What's left for me to say about Rakugo I haven't already said. Masterfully told drama like this doesn't come around very often, folks. I can't begin to describe how appreciative, how privileged I feel to have experienced this story firsthand the past 2 years. It's not often a series makes me say that, but then, most series aren't Rakugo. Without a doubt, my anime of the year. And that'll do it. For the curious, here's my actual top 10 plus a few honorable mentions. Looking back on this list, this really was a great year for anime in my view, as I genuinely loved each series here. I hope you enjoyed this awards show for what it was. My number one goal is for someone to be able to look back on this and get a clear sense of what 2017 was like. Hopefully I painted that picture well. As longtime followers of the channel will know, it was an up and down year for me upload-wise, but I can't thank you enough for sticking it through. I hope to keep providing content as long as I enjoy making it. On that note, I officially close the book on 2017. Here's to a new year. Let's make it a great one.